My phone lights up with a text that is not for me. Do not let him say your full name, Caleb Rowan. Do not go back to room 121. I stare at it until the screen dims. Then I tap to wake it again, half convinced I misread. The sender is unknown. No number, just a blank line where the contact should be. I whisper Caleb Rowan to test the shape of it. The suburb answers. Every dog on the street erupts at once. Not one bark. All of them. A wall of sound from behind fences and front windows and yards I cannot see in tow. It starts in the house across the road, then the next, blooming outward like a ripple. I stop on the sidewalk with my grocery bag cutting into my fingers. I am a block from my place, and a neat development of trimmed lawns and matching mailboxes and porch lights that come on at the same time each evening. It is so quiet here that sometimes I can hear the power lines hum. Tonight the barking has teeth in it, frantic and synchronized, like they have been waiting for a cue. The barking dies as suddenly as it begins, shutting off mid-breath. Doors remain closed. Curtains stay still. No one steps out to see what set them off. My phone buzzes again. Wrong Caleb. I feel my stomach drop at the casual certainty of it. I type back, who is this? No delivery checkmark. No failed message. It just sits there like I whispered into a closet. I walk the last block with my shoulders tight, listening for the smallest sound. My sneakers scuff on concrete. The grocery bag rustles. Everything else feels muted, as if the neighborhood is holding its breath. Inside, I lock the door and stand in the entryway longer than I need to. The house smells like the lemon cleaner I used this morning. The same clean, safe scent every night. I keep my routine rigid because the days have been sliding around lately, and routine is the only thing that makes them feel pinned down. Keys in the bowl, shoes off. Groceries away. Kettle on. When the kettle clicks, I make tea. When the tea steeps, I check the locks. When I check the locks, I glance through the front window. The street looks normal. The porch lights glow. The sky is low and gray. Pressing down. No people, no cars moving. I sit at the kitchen table, tea warming my hands, and I try to tell myself the text is a prank. Someone got my name. Someone typed it. It happens, but the barking does not fit. It has been happening for 2 weeks. Not always like this. Not always so violent. It begins the moment I think of a specific name. Evan Morrow. I do not know anyone by that name. I have never met an Evan Morrow. I have never written it down. I have not said it out loud until this moment. Across the street, a dog barks once, sharp and accusing. Then another. Then another. Within seconds, the whole suburb is howling again. I slam my palms against my ears, but it comes through the glass anyway. It is not just noise. It feels pointed, like the neighborhood has turned its face toward me. My tea trembles in the cup. I wait for the barking to end, counting my breaths, watching the second hand on the kitchen clock. It stops at the same time it started, all at once, leaving a vacuum of silence so complete I can hear the refrigerator cycle. I did not mean to think the name. It floated up on its own, as if someone nudged it into my mind. I set the cup down and check my phone again. The first message is still there. Do not let him say your full name, Caleb Rowan. Do not go back to room 121. Room 121. I have never been in a motel room here. I live in a house. The nearest motel is off the highway, 10 minutes away. A low building with a flickering sign I pass sometimes when I drive to work. I open my wallet to distract myself, to ground myself in something real. My license. My bank card. A receipt. A motel key card slides out and lands on the table with a soft plastic tap. I stare at it like it is a small animal. It is white with a faded blue stripe. The motel name is printed in plain letters. Briarcrest Motor Lodge. I do not remember picking it up. On the bottom corner, in marker, someone has written 121. My throat tightens. The card looks worn at the edges, like it has lived in my wallet for a long time. It has a faint smell of cigarette smoke, old and embedded. I flip it over. The magnetic strip is scratched. My fingers leave smudges. This is not possible. I press the card against the table and push it away from me, as if distance will change it. The kettle is cold now. The tea has stopped steaming. My phone buzzes again. You already went. You already came back. You just do not remember it right. I look up at the kitchen clock. It reads 7:14. I know, with the odd certainty of habit, that it should read 7:12. The 2 minutes are missing, not in the normal way minutes pass, but in a way that leaves no trace of passage. My tea was hot. Now it is merely warm. The clock hand sits too far forward. I did not feel time move. I stand, chair scraping, and I walk through the house checking rooms as if I expect to find someone crouched behind a door. Living room, hallway, bathroom, spare room, all empty. Oh yeah, familiar. I return to the kitchen and the key card is still there. I pick it up and rub my thumb over the marker. 121. I type Briarcrest Motor Lodge into my phone. It autofills after I type Briar. My search results show a listing with photos of a flat roof, a row of doors, curtains drawn. The reviews are old, mostly complaining about thin walls. I tap the address. It is off the highway, exactly where I thought. Room 121. I scroll through photos. The rooms are numbered starting at 100 on the left wing, 110 at the corner, 120 on the right wing. The right wing door numbers in the photo go 120, 122, 124. There is no 121. I zoom in until the pixels blur. The space between 120 and 122 is just beige wall and a vending machine. My mouth goes dry. I look at the keycard again. My phone buzzes. If you try to skip what comes next, it repeats harder. I sit down slowly. My palms sweat against the table. Something about that message makes me think of my mornings, the way they have been sliding. I wake at 6:30. Shower, coffee, toast, kids, drive, park, work. And lately, I have been arriving at work with no memory of the drive. Not in the normal, autopilot way, but in a way that feels like I blink and the car is already in the lot, the engine ticking, my hand still gripping the wheel. I have been finding small things out of place. My toothbrush wet when I swear I did not use it yet. The coffee grounds already in the filter. A bruise on my wrist like someone grabbed me. Routine is supposed to be a rail. It has been bending. I think of the name again. Evan Morrow, and the dogs explode outside like an alarm system. I flinch so hard I nearly knock the chair over. The barking is closer this time, as if more dogs are pressing against fences, as if they are trying to get out. I hear nails scraping wood. I hear one dog yelp. Then, abruptly, silence. A car door closes outside. I freeze. Through the front window, I see a shape on the sidewalk. A man standing under the streetlight near my mailbox. He is not wearing a hood. He is not trying to hide. He stands with his hands in his pockets, looking at my house like he is checking an address. I cannot see his face clearly through the glass in the distance, but I see the posture of someone waiting. My phone buzzes. Do not open the door. I step back from the window. The doorbell rings once. No one in this suburb rings doorbells. Everyone texts. Delivery drivers leave packages and leave. The sound is too bright, too formal, like a performance. The bell rings again. I do not move. A third ring. Then I hear him speak, muffled through the door. Hello. Just that. My first name, said the way someone says it when they expect you to answer. My chest feels tight, like my ribs are closing. The voice is familiar in a way I cannot place. Not a friend, not a coworker. Familiar like a song you have heard in a store but never learned the lyrics. He speaks again. Caleb Rowan. Outside, every dog on the street begins barking again instantly, violently. It feels like the sound is shoving at my walls. The unknown text said do not let him say your full name. He just did. The barking stops. My kitchen clock ticks loudly. The second hand moves. The air seems to thin. My phone screen goes black, then lights by itself. A new message appears, not from the unknown sender, but from my own number. You are late. I stare at it, my own contact photo in the corner, my own thread. The doorbell does not ring again. Instead, there is a soft click from the lock, as if someone outside has a key. I lunge for the deadbolt and twist it hard hammering. It is already turned. I know, I locked it when I came in. I always do. My hand shakes on the knob. From the other side of the door, a plastic card scrapes against the latch, the thin shush of it slipping between metal and frame. The motel key card on my table. I turn my head and see it is gone. My breath catches. I look down at my empty hands, then back to the door. The latch gives a tiny movement, a millimeter of surrender. I back away, feet sliding on the tile, and I hit the counter with my hip. Time does something strange. The kitchen light flickers, not like a bulb failing, but like the room is being filmed and someone is cutting frames out. My clock skips. The second hand jumps forward 3 seconds without moving through them. I blink and the kettle is steaming again. I blink and my teacup is full, untouched. I blink and I'm standing in the entryway with a grocery bag cutting into my fingers. Outside, the street is quiet. The porch lights are not on yet. My phone is in my hand, lit with a message. Do not let him say your full name, Caleb Rowan. Do not go back to room 121. My stomach lurches. I am back. The loop is not a metaphor. It is my life snapping back to a previous point, cleanly, brutally, like a tape rewound. I drop the grocery bag, hands thud and roll. I do not care. I run to the front window and look out. No man by the mailbox. No car. Just the quiet street. My breathing is loud in my ears. I whisper, Evan Morrow, because I need to know if the trigger still works, if I am really here. The dogs erupt. So it is real. I press my forehead to the cool glass. The barking stops. My phone buzzes, and this time the unknown sender shows a name. Evan Morrow. The message reads, you keep thinking of me like a doorbell. You keep calling me. My hands go numb. I type, stop. 3 dots appear, then vanish, then appear again. You take the same path every day. You lock the same locks. You check the same clock. You drink the same tea. My throat tightens. It is describing my routine like a predator describing a trail. Another message. Time does not break everywhere. It breaks where it is thin, where it is worn. I stare at my kitchen clock through the doorway. It reads 7:12. I do not trust it. I pick up my keys from the bowl. Because if I stay in the house and time snaps again, I will be trapped replaying the same few minutes until something gets in. I grab my wallet. The motel key card is inside, already warm as if it has been against skin. Room 121. My phone buzzes. Do not go back. Then another buzz from my own number again. Go now. The 2 messages sit stacked like opposing hands on my shoulders. Outside, the suburb is dead quiet again, as if the dogs never barked, as if nothing here is allowed to acknowledge what is happening. I step onto the porch. The air smells like wet pavement. The sky is darker than it should be for this time. As I walk to my car, I keep my mind blank, terrified of the name. I focus on mundane things. The feel of keys, the crunch of gravel, the cold metal of the door handle. When I sit behind the wheel, the clock on the dashboard reads 7:12, the same as the kitchen. I start the engine. The radio comes on by itself, low and full of static. A voice slips through, not a station, not a broadcast, a voice like someone speaking from a room with a door closed. Caleb Rowan. My grip tightens until my knuckles ache. Outside, every dog begins barking again, but not in a burst. This time it rises and stays, a sustained roar, as if the whole neighborhood is trying to drown out what comes comes next. I throw the car into reverse and back out fast, tires squealing. The moment I turn onto the main road, the barking cuts off behind me like someone shut a gate. The highway is nearly empty. The Briarcrest sign flickers ahead, blue light stuttering. I pull into the lot and park near the office. The building is low and long, curtains closed, no cars except mine. The office door is unlocked. A bell on the counter does not ring when I step inside. No one is here. A set of keycards hangs behind the counter on hooks. A ledger lies open, pen set neatly across it. I lean over the ledger. The last check-in is written in my handwriting. Caleb Rowan, room 121, date stamped today. Time stamped 7:14. 2 minutes I cannot account for. My phone buzzes again. Look at the map. Find a room that is not there. I swallow hard and step back outside. I scanning the rows of doors. Room 120 is there. Beige door. Brass number. Room 122 is there. Same door. Same brass. Between them is a vending machine humming softly. Its front lit. The space beside it is blank wall. No door. No 121. But my wallet is heavy with the key card, like it wants to be used. I pull it out and hold it up. The number in marker looks fresh now. Ink still glossy, as if someone just wrote it. The vending machine hum changes pitch, deepening. The air around the blank wall feels colder, like standing near a basement door. I step closer, heart thudding, and I raise the card to where a reader would be. There is no reader. Still, the card in my hand vibrates once, a tiny pulse like a phone receiving a call. From inside the blank wall, I hear a soft click. What? A seam appears in the paint, a rectangle taking shape, the outline of a door emerging like a memory surfacing. My phone buzzes. Do not let him say it again. I look at the seam, and in the reflection of the vending machine glass I see someone standing behind me, close enough that I should feel his breath. He speaks right by my ear. Caleb Rowan. The dogs are not here, but I still hear them distant and furious, like the sound is coming through time itself. The seam in the wall widens. The door that should not exist begins to open, and my dashboard clock in the parking lot, visible through my windshield, flips from 7:12 to 7:14 without passing through 7:13.